Hello, hi everyone, hello friends. So today I'm doing spark plugs on m157 motor. It's a CLS 63. The car have currently 33,000 miles, I believe. Uh, so a few tricks that I wanted to share with you and show you what I did to make my job easier. Obviously, it's not an easy job. It's a pain to get to the back, all the way to the back there from both sides. The driver's side have much more room than the passenger side. The really gentle part, and it's in my opinion bad design, because if you know that part gonna be maintained, you should do better clips on that. What I mean by that, so if I can zoom in, do you see that plastic piece inside that actually clips and holding the boot on the coil? That breaks off really easy, and I did broke one. Sorry not to show you my mess right here. So this is the one that I broke on the passenger side. So on this side, what I did not to break that stuff, so basically I got a little pack. Where did I put it? It's right here. So I got a little pack. So basically that's the lock position right here. Let's take that as an example. You pull the plastic back, slide it back, and then inside over there, you taking your pack and you lifting that little latch that holding it, and then with another tool, obviously two hands, not so easy, you're sliding the coil out. And I'm talking about that guy right there. You give it a little lift instead of pushing on the back side to lift it, okay? Because that's in a 95% will snap them. Now a good thing how to actually pull it. So one hand you prying it with a pick slightly, and the other hand you taking an extension like one of those, and with that side you just push on a coil out, on a coil boot out. So on this coil spark plug wire connector, the wire connector, here we go. I guess that's gonna be the correct way to say it. So that's about the wires. Obviously the job is already done. I'm just buckling everything back up. I just wanted to do a quick video to share that little thing with everybody, because it might save you a lot of hassle, because you don't want to put any zip ties or have any problem with the connection that, you know, that wire just gonna be loose constantly. So you don't want to have any misfires like I do, I assume. Now right here on the coil itself, the easy way to pull it, so the coil sits like that. You see that the top part, and that's where actually that little piece latches. If you see that, that's where the coil stops. What I mean by that, when you're putting the coil back, you should have your finger on that part to make sure that the boot of the coil sits all the way properly, all the way down. Now when you pull it out, you don't want to bend it completely, you know, straight line and pull it out. You just try to put your fingers under here and under the coil itself and pull it all together up. So that might gonna help you not to rip them. Obviously, if your car have a high mileage, you better prepare to get with you 2 or 3 of those. My car have a low mileage, so it didn't got too much heat cycles. So that's why I believe I was able to still reuse them. But I did got about 4 of them new ones, so they sitting here on the shelf just in case. Those are my spark plugs. I did mark them. and those are the new sparks that I put inside. The difference, what I'm noticing between those, and I'll tell you why now I'm noticing that. I'll get to that, because from my understanding, you're supposed to put the open part facing the injector, not the closed part, that the open part. So the piston or whatever, or the valve or the detonation of the spark will be stronger, or so it's not gonna do any damage. That's what I understood. Maybe please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. So to do that, obviously you got your 12 multi-point socket, which is 14. Get the one with the magnet, don't get the one with the springs inside, because it's just useless. So I mark it straight line. So that's where, let me kind of try to assemble it so you will see what I'm talking about. So straight line with this, and the same thing I did on my extensions. I used a small extension, I believe, what is it, 3/4 or a quarter. So, and that's basically how I used it, you know, and that's how I line it. Every time it's a pain in the butt, because in the small areas you just have to put the socket first with a little, then a middle one, and then another little one, and then one with a swirly head like that, so you can you know, have a little bit extra adjustment on the extension. I loose them up with a what is it, quarter or middle one, let's say, like that, and then to tie them up a little bit by hand, I just used another small one, and then obviously the torque wrench. You're gonna need a good magnet for that, because some of them will be stuck. The socket will be stuck, so you're gonna have to pull it out. And a really good tool that helped me to fast forward the job is that spring that I use on the coils bolts, to get them out really quick, and then behind the locations where you just don't want to struggle with the ratchet, and you know, it was much more faster and easier. Now the spec for the spark plugs, they are right here. So on each box it will tell you like 23 Newton meter or 17 foot-pounds, and right here it will tell you the gap, so 7 millimeter or 28 of an inch. So you can use that guy, which is not as perfect. Usually if you have that leaves, it's like a little, you know, it's like, it's gonna be like a bunch of keys, you know, each of them will be different size. Those are much more easier to use, because here you have to twist it and you don't know if you bended it or not, so you don't want to, I mean, you can do this one. That's what I did in my case. Now back to the spark plug, why I was mentioned that the open side is supposed to be in the middle, and how I did that. The reason for that, like I understand, so it's not gonna harm the piston or the valve, or I don't know, I just follow it because one of my great buddies advised me on that, and he's pretty familiar with that car. So the deal is, on the factories, the thread starts in the middle. I don't know if you can see it. It starts right here, right under the open part. On the Bosch sparks, it starts from the side. So no matter what you're gonna do with the Bosch sparks, you're still gonna stay inside that. So if that's the spark, if that's the thread socket inside the head, and that's the coil, so that ideally is supposed to point like so. And the factory ones do that, but the aftermarket, the Bosch ones, because of the thread starting from all the way from the side right here, every time you're gonna be around this position, because that's gonna be the end of the thread as well. So so you're gonna be around 9 o'clock, 7, between 8 and 10. Only one plug I was able to get was just slide right like it was supposed to be there up to 12 o'clock. I understood if you had 6 o'clock with that open part, then it's not, that is bad, you know. That's what I understood, so I kind of followed that theory. one more and last thing, if you're lubricating the boot with that special kind of, you know, spark boot protector, whatever, use a Q-tip, and the amount that you put on here, just try to do the top circle. Don't go all the way down in there, you know, because it's gonna create a vacuum on the spark, and when the spark is inside, and it's always gonna be the air gonna push it out slowly, so it's gonna be hard to have it seated properly all the way through. It happened to me on one. I just dried everything out, wiped everything out, and just did a little tiny circle on it with the lubrication, and that's basically did the job for me. What else? So obviously, to take the air boxes, you know, each of them have a sensor. One screw right here, you loosen up the band, and then the duct, the plastic, you pull it out, and then on the foam duct, not the duct but the foam cover, let me grab it. The foam cover is gonna be basically one of those that sits inside there like so. So there's two of those that holding and they get connected to the bottom of the coil where the bolt threads in. That's basically what it's for. I mean, it's just to have it an extra secure there, but one of them, I guess I ripped it because it was hanging on a thread socket there, and one of them still here. Not sure if you actually need to use them, but you know, for the heck of it, because it's there, I'm just gonna put it there because I believe it's creating more heat, or it's isolating heat from the downpipe there. So for that reason, I will gonna put it back. Other than that, what else on the list? On the last coils, all the way down by the firewall, try to put not that bolt first. Try to put the back bolt first. So one hand you holding the coil, and with the left hand you putting the bolt and trying to find the hole, because it's hard to see there, and it's, you know, you just basically going on your feel in your fingers. So that's gonna be easier, I believe, instead of dropping the bolt into the splash shield on the bottom and then go ahead to try to magnet it out of there. So what else should I say about that? It's not an easy job. The spark plugs from FCP will cost about 105 or 110 bucks. I believe they come with a socket, and the boot, I honestly don't remember. Don't remember how much was the boot, but the factory spark plugs from the dealer, they run about 240 or before tax, or 249 before tax. So that's a difference, but you know, I was kind of concerned because some of them will stay around 7 o'clock of closing with the open part towards the injector, and those are the injectors. Okay, so that's the injector rail. So I was already, you know, thinking to go get one, but then when I switch to small one from that side, from that size, it's actually made more sense because it was a little bit more accurate than a bigger one. You can see the lines right here on each of them, you know. So that's about it, what I have to say about those spark plugs. Definitely not an easy job, but not as super hard. Take your time. Like I said, the passenger side is going to be the most annoying one, I think. The driver side, just the less spark plug. Number 8, I believe. So that's pretty much it, what I have to say. I hope that video was helpful for anybody, or anybody can find some kind of help from that. And please leave comments, subscribe, like, and any concerns, or you have some information to bring it, just put in the comments. Thank you, everybody. Bye.